What's up, guys? World's
Was
tallest
good.
midgets.
World's tallest midgets back at it again.
So, we're back with a video. This is gonna be our top 5 movies of the year.
Yes. All right, guys. So we're gonna do it this way. So whatever's my 5, you'll say his 5, and that's how we're gonna go up to number 1. So my number 5 movie of the year is gonna be Elvis. So just to get it out the way, I really enjoyed this movie. I think this is the best way to tell Elvis' story in a synopsis and a very entertaining way. So I gave it a number 5 because it was a really entertaining movie and I love music. So to me, it was just a no-brainer. Definitely a top 5. I gave it an 8 out of 10. It is going to be controversial because I'm at number 4, but yeah.
Number 5.
So number 5.
Yeah, and my number 5, I also put Elvis as number 5. Again, really enjoyed it. It was super long. I mean, we saw it like when we got out of work. We were both mad tired. And as much as I did like it, I put it as a number 5 just because it's a movie that I don't see myself watching again unless, you know, I was really in the mood of seeing a documentary about Elvis again. But it was good, you know, just the storytelling, the visuals, the acting was great. So that's my number 5.
As number 4, I got The Northman. Now, to be quite honest, this is probably a movie that I thought was going to be my top 2 favorite of the year. I was underwhelmed. I was pretty disappointed because this was my second most highly rated movie going into this year. Number 1 was The Batman. This was number 2. And unfortunately, it did fall short of expectations by a lot. So I gave it a 7 out of 10. And I know that sounds crazy because I just said that Elvis was 8 out of 10. But this movie, honestly, I would watch it before I go back to Elvis again. So it was really a great film. So I have it at number 4.
My number 4 is The Batman. I did like this movie.
I disagree.
The visuals were great. It was like a really cool Gotham that was unique and different than the Nolan films or different than the other Batman interpretations. It just, to me, it felt just super long. It felt like 2 movies. I thought there was a lot of elements that they could have done better, a lot of stuff they could have cut down on, and just a lot of things that I wasn't a big fan of, which I kind of like had other people disagree with me. I did enjoy it. It's just a movie that I guess it wasn't as good as I expected, but it's still in my top 5. Again, it's number 4.
Number 4. All right, so guys, we're at number 3. We're getting right to it. So I made 2 different announcements. We both have number 3, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So for me, the reason why I have it at number 3 is because no, it was not a perfect movie by any stretch. A lot of people said it was such a messy movie. I understand. I understand the critics that said that, and a lot of people that fans of Doctor Strange that didn't like it like that. But man, I just love that Marvel finally went a different direction because the problem with Marvel, I feel like we never really get any stakes, or like it feels like now every time they make a movie, no one really dies.
Yeah, like in Thor, barely anything changed.
And that's why, to me, Sam Raimi having his own take of Doctor Strange was such a breath of fresh air. I love the horror elements that he brought to it because we all know Sam Raimi is known for his horror movies. And to me, I just really enjoyed it. Probably more than most people, and I know it was messy. It was not the perfect film of the year, but it's, to me, by far is the best Marvel movie for me.
Yeah, I definitely liked it a lot. Again, there are some points that I felt could have improved the movie tremendously. Yeah. One of them being, they say it's a multiverse, but in total they visit really 2 universes.
Yeah.
Maybe like 2.5 because there's a 3rd one, but we barely see anything of it. So they could have explored the dream walking and the universes more. There was definitely like a bit too many jokes, which kind of would ruin the tone at times, and also the way certain cameos and certain characters were handled. They were very underutilized or underplayed. But besides that, I love Doctor Strange. And I remember as soon as I saw it, like, I remember saying that I liked it better than No Way Home. I do take that back, but there are a lot of elements that I preferred over No Way Home, but still No Way Home is better, but that was last year.
I agree.
So number 2.
Number 2, guys. So this one I thought was going to be my number 1. But yes, I did. It just slightly underperformed. But
Where the crowd that sing?
Hell nah, never. It's funny enough. This is my number 2 movie, and I gave that movie a 2 out of 10. But that's neither here nor there. So my number 2 movie is his number 4, which was The Batman. Dude, to me, this was almost the most perfect Batman iteration that we've seen on the big screen. To me, I still think the best movie ever as far as Batman goes in the big screen is The Dark Knight, but I definitely have the Batman number 2 of all time. To me,
What about
I
Lego
love.
Batman? What about Lego Batman?
I did like that movie, but I definitely think this is a great take that Matt Reeves took with this Batman. He did have heavy inspiration from Seven, and looking back at it now, I actually just recently watched Seven, and to be honest, I'd rather get Seven than watching this Batman movie, because if you're looking at which movie to watch, which is the inspiration of, would you rather have that or the original? I'd rather have Seven. I think Seven had a better take of the direction that the director had with David Fincher, I believe his name is. So to me, this was just a lesser version of Seven, but I love this so much. It is my number 2, and I loved it. I loved it. So number 2.
Yeah, my number 2 is actually Martin's number 1. I know he loved this movie. It's everything, everywhere, all at once. Now, this movie, just putting it simply, it was like a better Multiverse of Madness. The fact that A24 was able to get the visual effects with only 5 VFX artists that I believe learned from YouTube, and was just so much more creative than Multiverse of Madness. The storytelling was amazing. The storytelling was amazing. The acting was amazing. The only nitpick I did have was essentially the main plot was just family drama and mother and daughter relationships. That I really couldn't get into. I was like, it didn't do it for me. If they had replaced that with a different message, I think it would have been like my number 1. But overall, it was an amazing movie.
All right, guys. So both of our number 1s, and I think a lot of people would agree with us. I think a lot of people, even critics, number 1 movie has to be Top Gun Maverick. This movie, honestly, when I tell you guys, I came into this movie with no expectations. No expectations. I don't have any type of connection, have no nostalgia for the original, because I've still to this day never seen it. JC has seen it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, so my expectation was literally nowhere. So coming into this movie, and we did see it in 40X.
Yeah, that 40X was insane. I mean, just
bruh. The best movie experience in 40X. I thought it was gonna be Spider-Man No Way Home. No, this movie was the epitome of the best experience of 40X.
Scene when he ejects from the jet, you actually get thrown out of your seats. Dude. And we ended up, spraining our ankles, but it was
Dude, look, man, this is definitely the movie of the year, and I think a lot of people would agree. Man, I think this movie showed, Tom Cruise showed that he is literally one of the last dying breeds of actual movie stars that get people's butts in their seats. He is definitely the last of the dying breed. He is definitely one of the last movie stars we're gonna have. So yeah, bro, like the story and the plot wasn't nothing, difficult to understand, and it was not deep or anything like that. It just was a well-made movie. It
was not political, not woke, not pushing any agenda. It was just good old-fashioned America action, good storytelling, great characters, great acting,
people that you actually get invested in, even though you don't really know them. Just a great all-around movie. I gave that movie a 9.5 out of 10. To me, that is the best movie so far, and I just don't see myself putting any movie above it. Based on what movies are coming out, there's just not one movie I can see myself liking more than what I experienced with this movie. Best movie experience I've ever had in theaters for me. The best movie of this year by far, and I think the numbers quite tell themselves. I mean, right now I think it's at 1.2 or 1.3 billion dollars in the box office, and it's just gonna keep getting more money.
Yeah, and an honorable mention, didn't quite make our top list, but Where the Crawdads Sing has to be one of the most beautiful pieces of film ever created.
Nope as well.
Nope, and Where the Crawdads Sing.
Masterpieces. But we just couldn't do it because I felt like people would hate us if we put them in the top 5. But guys, chef's kiss.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you guys got enough of our jokes for today. But guys, we thank you so much for checking out the channel. This is our top 5 so far. We will come back at the end of the year with our top 5 movies, or maybe a top 10. Y'all let us know in the comments of the entire 2022. This has been the world's tallest midgets. Stay in school.
Signing out. I don't know what I'm doing. All right.